Guys, I'm going to make this the shortest video that's going to completely transform the way you do discovery calls I can possibly can. So let's get started. This is my framework that I use for everything from small businesses up through enterprise. And I promise if you really learn how to do each of these 3 only components, you will close more business, and I will make more videos in the future diving into the details on each component. Number 1, listen. Listen to your client, what your client is saying, and how they're saying it. Because when you get to step 2, you need to make sure that you are putting your product and service in the light that your customer wants you to portray it in. They'll tell you exactly how to sell to them, which is important because in step 2, you're going to interpret what you just heard. And while you're interpreting, you're going to do a couple of things. 1, use the same types of words that your customer did. For example, you might have a very analytical person who said, last quarter we had a 3% productivity drop off, and I need to fix that so we can achieve 100% of our deadlines going into 2025. Or they might say something like, we had a really rough quarter and I really want to smooth that out because I'm getting a lot of headaches going into the next year. And when you're going to interpret what you just heard, you're going to put it back into that language. You're going to associate numbers with numbers. We drive productivity over 30% by doing X, Y, and Z. We're going to ensure that you are pain-free and have a smooth 2025 by doing A, B, and C. And when you interpret, you're also going to leave an opening for your customer. So, for example, your customer says, we had a 30% productivity drop off last quarter due to an increase in the amount of customer demands that we had due to new customer acquisitions. And you're going to say, what I heard was that your team is too busy handling 200% more customer tickets, and that led to miss 30% of your deadlines. Is what I heard correct? Make sure you interpret and then ask a question that is not a yes or no question. I actually misphrased that one a little bit. Instead of saying, is that correct? What you should be saying is, am I close or did I miss something? People really like to correct other people. If you spend any time on the internet, you know this is true. So, leave them an opportunity to agree with what you said, but also correct you and get to the heart of what's actually going on. And you're going to want to do those first 2 steps, listen and interpret a couple of times before you finally get to the last step, which is dive in. And this is where you truly get into the deep end. If you've listened and interpreted properly and gone through those steps, iterated those steps several times, you now know what the root cause of the problem is. You know exactly why it's causing them a problem and how they frame the problem, both with themselves and within the company, right? So now you can dive in and say, this is exactly how we solve this problem. This is exactly how it's going to relate to you, make your life easier, better, faster, lead to promotions, lead to your company growth, whatever those things are you heard in the first steps. So listen, interpret, dive in. That is my lid framework for peeling the lid off your customers and getting to the good stuff, which are closed-won contracts. I hope this helped you. I'm going to dive further into each of those components in the lid framework in other videos. For right now, just remember, listen, interpret, and only then dive in. Good luck and go get it.